Hello. I don't have time to make a full video, so I'm just going to do another quick video like I did a couple weeks ago. This time I'm going to be talking more about powering dispensers and what's good and bad about that, and some changes in how dispensers were powered in the past. So, a long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, people powered things very differently. So, when I first started getting into cannoning, I tried towering dispensers up. So, like, if I'm making a main power, I noticed that some dispensers wouldn't tick off, and it was super confusing to me. And I didn't understand why, because it was just like these two, everything's getting powered, it's all going in. Like, why wouldn't it work? So I made up this like really elaborate like thing to like show. Like, I used dispensers like this, and I had a flat wall. Remember, this is before TNT spread was turned off. So if you launched TNT, it just kind of went everywhere, so you couldn't like see which dispensers would come out of. So I used arrows, and I had a flat wall, and you could see exactly where the arrows would hit. And I made up this really elaborate video from like 4 years ago, and I was gonna post on like one of the Minecraft forums and be like, "Why is this happening?" And then I realized someone else posted something similar, and for whatever reason, they said when powering dispensers, you need to have like something like this, and then just alternate it. And they said this is what works, and so I read that and I was like, okay. So then I figured I could tower up as well. But to kind of show what I mean by it was weird. Also, I want to recap or say a lot of people used to use repeater or the torches. That was a huge thing before I got into cannoning, and even while before I was very well known. Torches were a huge thing. Disaster even used them, and eventually I convinced him, because of random errors from torches with slab busting specifically, not slab busting the player, but slab busting while doing that. I found all these errors you could do with one-shot slab busting. Anyways, so I convinced them to switch to repeaters, but let's look at this. So this first one, there's nothing in it. Whoops. This is going to work fine. No, it's not. Sometimes it works fine the first time, sometimes it doesn't. But we're going to just start opening these. 64, 64, 64. So what's going on? Why? Like, this is so stupid, right? Why is Minecraft such a crappy game? Everything's getting powered fine. So I mean, it's not, obviously, since things are not dispensing, but that's a problem. And this is unacceptable when canning. We can't do that. So some other people did stuff like this, which it's pretty similar. Okay, so we have 64, and instead of it being every other, people said this was the solution, which let's find out. Is this the solution? No, it's not the solution. Not at all. So, like, why does it happen in a video game, I don't have the answer for that. But just, you have to be careful with how I power things. So, this is the one I did. While everyone else was using torches, I was doing this. People called me crazy and said, you cannot power a full cannon and shoot 20 chunks with this. And I'm like, okay, you tell yourself that. But now we know this is the way to power dispensers. Every single person does it. I mean, it is the reliable method. So here's another way. You'd think this would work, right? Because every other one is getting powered. It's kind of staggered like this one over here. But it's all stemming from this on the side. Whereas this, it's directly powered up and diagonally. Or up and over and up. Whereas this goes up, then over. Okay. So let's see how this works. And this doesn't work either. Like, why? So, who knows? But you could see, the dispensers, or excuse me, the repeaters are powered like diagonally, but obviously there's something going on behind the scenes that I don't really care about. It's causing problems. Now, something where powering dispensers is like a weird subject and caused lots of problems for me on raids on different servers, specifically Gontroller, was left shooting. There was like 8 times probably in various raids between 6.0 and 8.0. 6.0, no, 5.0, wait. 6.0 and 7.0, the last 2 maps I played, where, left shooting was kind of new, but there'd be raids and left shooting just wouldn't work right. Get it? Work correctly. And the reason for that is because of whatever magic with powering dispensers, some of these wouldn't tick off. And left shooting is a very, it's just like science. We have to have it working correctly we have to have everything ticking off for everything to work correctly because the ratios with barrel setups and such. So if one of these dispensers didn't tick off, nothing would work correctly. So I got screwed over a bunch of times on raids, such as last wall, and all of a sudden something happened with the server and not every dispenser would tick off. So this will actually work almost every time right now, but other times it won't. So I was really hoping I could show you guys it not working, but I can't. So this is the original method I did left shooting, which, as I've discussed before, the whole reason it worked is because this is powering right now. And then this top row gets powered. So obviously it's working here. But I knew that there's a problem with this sometimes on the server, so I tried to come up with a more reliable way. Then I tried a whole bunch of different ways. Like, for example, here's this. I did this yesterday, I promise you. Actually, it was like a week ago, and it didn't work at all correctly. But now it is working correctly. So, yeah, 63, 63, and it's working fine right now. So I don't know why it selectively does. I mean, I'm sure there's a couple of reasons. One of which I think is an issue I know about is chunk layouts. So how things overlap on chunks. I know with sand compressions and stuff, I think on Opticraft, Zell had problems with placing cannons in certain ways, and it just wouldn't work correctly because of chunks. Here's another way I did something similar on my later cannons like a year ago with left shooters. So you have to be very careful and always check your dispensers. If something's not working correctly, see if your dispensers are not ticking off. And all you got to do is push it a couple times and just compare. So it's like, oh, it says 63, but that one has 64. Oh, no. So here's some more, times we got to look at how we wire our dispensers. This will work, right? Everything's got 64. Everything looks good. And so this would be used like for a booster in the back of a cannon or in a hammer or a sand compression. We got to have like tall things in dispensers. So everything here, again, works fine. However, you could also do something like this. So you have half the redstone, basically, and you're able to power this block and the redstone, and it'll power both dispensers. So you want to do something like this, but check this out. So wait a second. What? You have another problem with dispensers not dispensing off? All right. So these two bottom ones, understandably, aren't going to tick off. Noted TNT is popping out. This one, okay. These two are fine. They dispense TNT. But why the heck aren't these? Like, hello? Everything around it is. So it's just kind of like wacky. Like, why does this happen? So then we change it up slightly. So we shift this down slightly, if that makes sense. And you can see here it's still not right. So it's like, okay, what's going on here? Obviously, repeater, this is getting powered, this is getting powered. So why won't this get powered, And we can fix it, here. This just happens to work. There is an explanation I have for this, but it's not very scientific, and I don't want someone to correct me because I'm probably wrong, because I haven't actually tried talking to someone who knows the code better than me. But weird oddities, you got to check to make sure things work correctly. Here's an application where we really, really, really need to make sure everything's ticking off fine. You have a full main power. We know that this is going to work correctly, but we have our booster back here. So this is going to shuffle everything up to our block. So first this is going to explode, and it's going to then move this, and up to 7 blocks away of this. Then this is going to explode, continuing to move this, but then it's going to move all of this. This last one's going to move, shuffling the rest of the TNT up to our block here. So it depends this design is a very popular design. It depends very much so on all the dispensers ticking off. So if one TNT doesn't tick off here, it's not going to work right at all, and you're going to be firing your cannon, and it's just not going to fire correctly. I was testing cannons on Cosmic, and there's a couple of times on Cosmic where I tried using a power like this, and it just wouldn't work, and I just couldn't figure out why. I didn't understand. I'm like, let me actually check my dispensers. And I opened up these. Half of them wouldn't even tick off. So this, like the top or bottom one, no TNT would come out. Same thing here. Top, bottom one, nothing would come out. I would empty the dispenser, fill it back up. It would fire once and work fine, and then just wouldn't work again. Replace the dispenser. It would fire the first time only, and then after that, nothing would tick out. So then I tried okay, I'm going to wire this around, and then I did something like this, and I just like linked it up and I made sure the timings matched. It still wouldn't dispense them, and I'm like, really, Cosmic? Like, come on. So like I talked to the admins about it, and I'm like, this happens. They're like, okay, we'll look into it, and I didn't pursue it any further because I'm a busy person, and this was like 6 months ago, whatever, and hopefully it's not an issue there. I know other servers too. They'll have problems. Again, I think Optic has had a problem with this, something like this in specific cannons. It's just something you need to be mindful of. So just check it and see if there's some solutions to that. So yeah, it's always important to have, if you have something that's critical, like dispensers that are critical for the functioning of a cannon, you need to make sure it works all the time. So keep in mind how you wire everything.